everybody! It is the Dating is Hard podcast. I'm your host, Joe Welkie. For everything you need to know about this podcast, head on over to datingishardcomedy.com. Follow the Instagram at datingishardcomedy, and you can follow me on Instagram at Joe Welkie. If you could please subscribe, rate, review, share this with your friends, that'd be awesome. Give it a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts and all that stuff. Subscribe on Spotify. Just to let you guys know, this podcast is available everywhere. I get some questions from people that are like, where can I listen to your podcast? It's pretty much everywhere. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, Stitcher. The big four, it's on all of them. And then there's even some stuff that it's on, and I don't even know how it got on there. I guess the RSS feed just got stolen or something. I don't know. But I see people listening to it on a bunch of stuff like Podcast Addict. I don't know how I got on that, but it's on there. It's on everywhere. Any place you can find a podcast, basically, you can listen to the Dating is Hard podcast. But that's not why we're here today. This is a fun episode. I finally got to have another guest again after a couple solo episodes, which is fun. I really enjoy having guests. It's nice to talk to people. I enjoyed it in solo episodes, but, that's not why I started the podcast. I started it because I wanted people to share their dating stories, their theories about dating, and all that jazz. So I'm lucky to have a guest today. She's a hilarious comedian. She's awesome, and I think that you're really going to enjoy what she has to say. So please enjoy my chat with Lydia Shahid. Hey, everybody. Welcome to a new episode of the Dating is Hard podcast. This is special and awesome because I've been doing solo episodes the last couple episodes because fucking weirdness, weird coronavirus stuff. The world is on fire, But today, got a guest with me, a good buddy, a hilarious comedian. So I'd like to welcome Lydia Shahid.
Hey!
What's up, Lids?
Just trying to survive, I guess. Happy to wake up every day.
I know, right? It's fucking crazy out there, dude. But this is also super cool and special and whatever because you are the first guest in my new apartment.
True. It's a very nice apartment, you guys. He has hand soap in his bathroom, which is a plus for a dude. And his bathroom was very clean. I was like, wow. Whatever lady you bring up in here is going to be genuinely shocked and impressed.
You know what's hilarious? So I knew that I was kind of low on toilet paper, so I put extra toilet paper out around where because I was like, well, if she runs out of toilet paper, and then I'm gonna feel fucking terrible. Also, dude, that's not even hand soap.
It's body wash.
Yeah, because I bought it when coronavirus shit was going haywire, and there was no hand soap.
Yeah.
So I was just like, let me find one with a little push down dispense, and that was the only thing I could find. And it's knockoff Axe body wash.
Is it?
It's literally called Blade.
It works. It smells very nice.
Right?
What's the difference between hand soap and body wash? There isn't a difference.
I don't think there is.
If you can use hand soap to clean your butt and your body, why can't you?
If you get out of a shower, you're not I need to wash my hands too.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no.
So, yeah, I like it. It made my hands feel soft. So.
Hell yeah.
And it smells good.
Thank you for complimenting my bathroom and my apartment.
You're welcome.
It's very cool of
Anytime.
you. I'm happy that you're here. Thanks for coming. This is the Dating is Hard podcast. And based on what I know of you and your stand-up, you've had some interesting experiences
to say the least.
You have that bit about catching a dude cheating on you and then smashing a surfboard.
Yeah,
is that real?
Yeah, that was actually my ex-fiancé, actually. We were engaged. Yeah, I was engaged at one point. That's scary.
We have to start this. That's not scary. Lydia, you're a beautiful, charming woman.
Thank you, but I was very young.
Well, how old were you?
I was 25 when I got engaged, and so like I don't think marriage is not for everyone, number one. Number two, like I don't think anyone should get married before they're 30. Like I think it's
Really?
just stupid. Like in your 20s, there's so much like change that's happening. You're like developing yourself. Like you're not the like 18-year-old that's still kind of depending on their parents kind of thing. Like 25 is like right when you start weaning off your parents and you start to find your identity. Like that's not any time where you should be like, let me get married and start a family. Like that's not.
I feel like that's only really out here. Or like in big city areas.
You think so?
Yeah, dude.
I think it's not in big cities.
Middle America's getting married fucking 20. But that's also because they're getting pregnant at 16.
That's true. That's true. It is kind of an option to not get married around here. It's kind of I don't know. I think if you live anywhere in America and like if you're a female, especially like before like 50 years ago, it was kind of harder for females, right? Like they weren't making as much money. They couldn't buy a house by themselves. They couldn't like essentially start a family by themselves. Like they had to rely on a man to get anywhere. But like at this point in life and like, you know, where we've developed as a nation, I don't think I need to depend on a man to get those things. So like if you're not happy in a relationship, it's okay to say goodbye and figure it out for yourself. Yeah. And like, for some reason, I don't know why. I think I was heavily influenced by my parents to get married.
To get married?
Yeah, because I was in a relationship for 5 years since I was like 20. And then...
they were like, when's he going to ask the question?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
So, at 21, they were asking me. Like, a year into the relationship, they were asking me when we were going to get married. And then when I graduated college, they were like, okay, it's going to happen, right? And I'm like, not yet. But, right around the time we graduated college, you know, he actually went on, like, a surf trip with his buddies and then... cheated on me, didn't tell me about it, and then came back. It was a horrific story, actually. The girl that he cheated on me with, he was so-called friends with, brought her back to the States with him and, like, a group of friends.
Where was this surf trip?
It was in Costa Rica.
Oh, so he knew her while in there? He
met her there, and then he came back to the States. With her, but then this other guy as well that he met in Costa Rica, his name was Kai, and then him, Kai, and this girl come back to the States, and they made it seem like they were just all like these cool friends that he met in Costa Rica, and then he's like, we're all gonna come back, and he made it seem like Kai and that girl were kind of a thing. He mentioned to me that he thought she was like attractive, but him and Kai were a thing, so I was suspicious, but I didn't say anything, and I was just kind of like, okay, and, you know, I hung out with them, and she and Kai made it seem like they were in a relationship. I don't know if you're following any of this.
Yeah, I'm following.
And then so, like, I actually became friends with her, and she was from Sweden, and, like, they had never been to Vegas, so I booked us a room in Vegas, like, on my miles, and I took her shopping, and I let her wear all my clothes and all this stuff, and it was...
Oh, my God.
I know, it was horrific. And then, I had family coming to town from Arizona, and my boyfriend kind of ditched me to hang out with her, and I got really fucking pissed. Yeah. I got pissed, and I tried to break up with him, and then... he was so manipulative that he knew who to contact in my life to get me to come back. So, like, he called all my friends, he showed up to my house, talked to my mom, did all these crazy things to get me to come back. I came back, he tried to make it up to me and my family. I was just like, okay, maybe I misinterpreted the situation. And then it was all good. She left. And then he took me on a trip. We went to we did a trip away. And then tried, I guess, to forget all the drama that happened. And then a year later, he was like, just decided to come clean.
Oh, shit. So
and I was
like find out until he told you?
Yeah, until he told me. Like, I was suspicious of it, but I didn't know.
Yeah, you didn't know for sure.
Yeah, and then I tried to tried to call him on his shit, and he was just like, no. And then I didn't feel right. Like, I felt like I didn't know how to put it in words. Like, I didn't know how to say, like, it was cheating, but I knew he made me feel uncomfortable around her.
Yeah.
And then that's when I like downloaded Beyonce's Lemonade, and I was like at first I was so civil, and he was graduating from PA school at the time. So he actually told me the night before his graduation, and we were living together. So I had taken the day off work for his graduation. Instead of going to the graduation, I just packed up all my shit and I moved out, went to my mom's house, and I was like, Mom, I'm staying here. Shit went south. And then the next couple days, when I was slowly still cleaning out stuff from his house, I was like trying to evaluate the situation. I was just like, how could I hurt him for how bad he's hurting me? And he loved surfing. He cheated on me on a surfing trip. Yeah. So I picked a surfboard that like he had just gotten like custom made, and it was like he had ridden it. Like he talked about that surfboard kind of more than he talked about anything else. And he was just like, I'm so excited to try it. Like, it's so cool that I got this surfboard made and it rides this way, but like I want to try it in this setting. I don't know how it's going to work when on this kind of day. And I'm like, okay, I didn't really care.
Cool, bro.
And then, I know, right? So then I was teaching softball at the time at work, and so I had a metal bat in my car. And so I took that surfboard, and I just went ham on it in the driveway. And it turned into a bit because it was fucking funny. Like, it was funny how it happened. And it's true, like, the neighbors did hear me. The neighbors heard me because it was so loud.
Yeah.
And, like, one of the neighbors yelled, she's like, what'd he do? I was like, he cheated.
Dude, that's some ballsy cheating, too. To be like, I'm going to bring the girl around that I'm cheating on you with. Like, that is balls and a half.
And then try to play it off to be like, oh, she's dating my friend, not me.
Yeah.
Some people are just sick. Some people are sick.
Insane.
It was very insane. And I was like, look, I already have daddy issues. That's enough. I don't need fucking ignorant ass boyfriend issues, right? I was like, sometimes you're just like, wow, could it get worse? I don't know. But his friends told me after I took like a surfboard, a bat to it, they were like, Lydia, like, I have to say, like, if you had to pick any surfboard, like, you picked the right one.
Well, did any of his friends afterwards be like, yeah, we knew, and like,
yeah,
oh, fuck.
They all knew, and then some of his friends were just like, I'm sorry, like, you deserve better, we just couldn't cross Matt, like, he was our friend, and blah, blah, and then other friends were like, we thought you knew, and other friends were like, yeah, they were just like really pissed. Some of his friends were really pissed and were just like, I can't believe you did that, because his best friend literally had just gotten cheated on, and fuck. Like, that came clean, and like he was in that wedding and all that stuff, and then he saw his friend get torn apart because his wife cheated on him. Yeah. And then he comes out to that same friend and be like, oh, I cheated on Lydia. And he was like, I wanted to beat his ass.
Well, how close were you to, like, actually getting married at that point?
We were, like, engaged for, like, a year already. Like, we started planning a wedding. Like, we were looking at venues. I hadn't, like, bought a dress or anything. We hadn't, like, put a deposit on a venue. We were still very much looking, but, like, I'm glad that nothing, like, we didn't follow through with it. Like, I was looking at invitations, stuff like that, but, like, we hadn't really followed through with anything, no. So I'm glad I never put any money down or lost any money. Like, we had saved at that point. Like, I remember I had moved in with him and we had started saving for a wedding, so we had like a good chunk of change to have the wedding.
Well, how long were you living together?
Like a year.
Was
it a year? Yeah.
Was the like cheating shit going on while you were living together?
I don't know. I don't know about that. Yeah. I just know about that one incident, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was more than once. Like, if at that point we weren't even living together when he cheated on me. So like, why, if we were living together, there was probably a grip of times.
Yeah.
But cheating sucks, guys. Don't do it. If you want to cheat on somebody, break up with them.
Yeah.
That is the best advice I can give you. If you're at the point where you're like, I'm at this perfect opportunity to hook up with this really hot girl, just send your girl a text and be like, I'm sorry, I love you, you deserve better. Mm-hmm. And then go do your dirty deed. And you know what? You're a fucked off person a little bit, but you still got what you want at the end of the day. Yeah, you lost your girlfriend, but that was a choice you made. You can't have your cake and eat it too, bitch.
I'm just picturing a guy, like, about to walk into a girl's apartment, and he's like, hold on, I have to do something really quick. And they, like, pulls out his phone, and he's like, hey, sorry, it's over. And then it's like, all right, we're good.
Just a quick text.
Yeah, like, his phone's ringing off the hook while he's fucking this new person. It's like, don't worry about the phone call, it's probably work or something.
I don't know, like, I just feel like it's so much easier to just not cheat. Have you ever cheated on a girl?
Yes.
Was it hard for you or easy to do?
What do you mean hard? Like, as in making the decision? Or
yeah.
Making the decision to cheat? No, it's very easy because it's like right there and it's happening.
Okay.
But what's hard is looking that person in the face afterward and being like, no, everything's cool.
Yeah.
You know? That's the worst part about it, to me anyway.
Yeah.
And then, like, having to keep all of your lies straight. And there was, like, that famous, I think in high school, some teacher told us, like, some proverb that's like, you should always tell the truth because then you don't have to keep your story straight. Mm-hmm. And that's so true when it comes to, like, cheating and shit like that, because I would have to, like, remember what lie I was telling, and then you get tripped up, and then it's all fucking madness. But
do you regret cheating?
Yeah, definitely.
You regretted it?
I'm worried for myself that, and I think I talked about this maybe on the last episode, but I'm worried for myself because, you know, there's that phrase, like, once a cheater, always a cheater.
Yeah. And
then it's like, well, am I always going to be a cheater? And, like,
I don't know. I think you can fix behavior.
I think that you can too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
You have to be hopeful for that. Where you're going to be like, oh, just give up because I was a shitty person at one time. Like, no, fix your behavior for the next person.
Yeah.
Get it together. Cheating's a choice, not the only option.
Yeah.
Right?
It's definitely not there. You can send a pithy one-word text like, hey, it's over.
It's done. Be like, look, honey, I love you, but I got this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and I just know if this hot person wakes up tomorrow, they're not going to want to pay me. So, like, I need to take advantage of this while it's still on the table. But I love you, and I hope you still want to fuck me, too, after.
Maybe we can get back together after tonight, but I got this thing that I need to do, and I need to be single for it.
Can I just get, like, one free pass?
Have you ever cheated on somebody?
I don't know that it's cheating. I, like, with my first boyfriend ever, when I was, like, 17, 18, I think I had kissed somebody else. Mm-hmm. It was, like, a really toxic, abusive relationship, and we would go, like, we would fight and break up, and then we'd get back together, like, a day or two later, and so, like, every time we'd, like, fight and break up, I would, like, hook up with somebody else, mm-hmm. and, like, I had, like, I was consistently hooking up with my neighbor, like, I lost my virginity to my neighbor,
like,
so, like...
next-door neighbor?
Yeah, my next-door neighbor.
Dang.
I lost my virginity to, and so... And he had like this.
It's also kind of convenient, though.
It's convenient, but it was also kind of like wrong because he kind of like, the person you lose your virginity to kind of has like leverage. Do you know what I mean? Just because that was like your first time. Like, I feel like for females, like, there's leverage.
Yeah,
like,
what
you think sex is something different in your head as a young female. Like, you think it's like love and like that person is always going to love you and be there for you. So, like, you forget, like, you always go back to your first love kind of thing. Like, there's leverage there. Like, if your first ex were to text you and be like, hi, I miss you, there's some kind of emotion that comes up because that's, like, your first, right? Yeah. Like, at one point, you believe something was true and honest about that relationship, and that's why you made yourself vulnerable to them. And then, yeah, so I was just a dumb girl. And so every time my neighbor was around and I was broken up with my ex, I would go back, and it was pretty bad.
Technically cheating, but
it's not healthy. Whatever that is. Just like I feel like cheating's not healthy. Like, cheating's a sign that something's wrong in your fucking relationship, and like you need to let that person go and like fucking start over. And like I feel like you should love the other person enough to be able to let them go. Like, you need to like be selfless in a relationship, which is really fucking hard, because the reason why you're kind of in a relationship is you're kind of selfish, right? Like, you like the attention, like you want someone there all the time. Like, that's a bit selfish.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, you want a companion. Like, needing a companion from somebody, like companionship from someone, that's kind of selfish. So, like, to have to, like, be in a relationship and force yourself to be selfless so that you don't hurt them, like, that's fucking hard to do, and I think that's why relationships are hard. Right?
It's kind of the name of the podcast.
Yep. Dating is fucking hard, you guys. Don't do it. Save your heart.
I was also in a kind of on again, off again relationship, and then every time we were off again, like, I'd hook up with somebody else, and then we'd be back on again.
So toxic.
Fucking wild, this shit. It was not healthy at all.
Not healthy. That's fucking toxic.
But that was also when I was like 21 to 23. Maybe.
Yeah.
And it was just like bad.
See, that's how it was for me. Like, when you're 18, you don't know what a healthy relationship is.
Yeah.
You don't know. Like, I didn't come from like a nuclear family that showed like a healthy relationship.
Dude,
did you?
Well, my parents were together, but this is the weird thing, and me and my sister bond over this, and it freaks people out. But like, my parents never really said "I love you" to us or each other. Like, we never saw that, and it leads to a lot of like relationship problems for me. And like, my parents don't hold hands. We're not a very like touchy family, or emotionally, like, I guess, we're not good with emotions.
Yeah.
And we always are like joking, and I guess that's where fucking comedy comes from.
Yeah.
But
same.
I always have a difficulty saying "I love you" to the person that I'm dating. And like holding hands and like PDA.
Yeah, no. I think even if you're in like a healthy relationship, though, I think PDA is kind of like. Yeah. I feel like only people who do PDA are like assholes. Like, right? Because you're like, ooh, look at me, look at my relationship, a relationship that you don't have. Like, I feel like that's what PDA does. And you're like, don't make me feel sorry for being single, bitch. Fuck you. I love myself. But PD's like, look what I have. That's what PDA is to me. So.
Dude, I knew this couple when I was living in New York, and they would just call each other babe all the time. Ew. And it just made me want to vomit. I fucking hated it.
Gross.
Like, pet names are fine, I guess, but like, just, it was after every sentence. It was like the punctuation marks, like, hey babe, you want to go to the store, babe? Yeah, okay, babe. It's just like, say their name or something. Like,
that makes me vomit.
Dude, it's so nasty.
I'd be like, that's too much love. I can't handle it. Please stop.
But do you think, so you're talking about, like, losing your virginity and that person, like, holds a special place. Do you still, like, think about that person? Or were you, like, dating? Or it was just like, let's just fucking get this out of the way?
It was, I don't even know what it was. It was toxic. That was toxic, too. It was fucked up. He was a bit older than I was.
There's a bug flying around. It's really just driving me crazy.
And Joe just flipped it off, and I was like, who the fuck are you flipping off? Is there a ghost in here I can't see? Your ex is back. She wants revenge. The ghost of your ex that you cheated on.
Oh, she got revenge.
She did?
Yeah.
Oh, we have to get into that. What'd she do?
Well, I cheated on her, and then she... there was this guy that she knew that I knew, and he was also a comedian.
Okay.
And she, like, went out of her way to find that guy on a dating app or something and then bang him. Okay. And she was like, and I did it because I found this out after we had started dating again. So, like, we broke up when I cheated, then we got back together.
Damn.
And then after we got back together, I found out that she had hooked up with this dude. Okay. And she was like, I did it because I secretly, like, wanted you to find out and get pissed off about it.
But you didn't even find out until you guys started dating again, right?
Yeah. But I was also like...
I don't know if that really is revenge. It would have hurt if you found out from the comic.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't really, like, close with that guy, and I rarely saw him. But whenever I did, I was like, this guy's such a fucking douchebag.
Yeah.
But, and she told, like, all of my friends that she did it. And, but somehow, this is how my toxic mind worked.
Okay.
So I cheated on her, and, like, I did everything that I could to make sure that she wouldn't find out. Okay. And then she eventually found out anyway.
Okay.
I was like, I feel like her doing that was worse than me cheating, because it was like she did it purposely to, like, hurt me, and, like, she wasn't even really into it. She was just doing it as, like, a revenge tactic. And I felt like that was more toxic than me cheating on her and trying to do everything in my power to stop her from finding out.
She just was hurt.
Yeah.
Hurt people.
Wow.
You hurt her.
Mm-hmm.
And she went and hurt you again, and probably herself a little bit, to be honest. So that sucks. It's horrible.
And you know what's crazy is I still think of her as, like, the girl that I was like, I shouldn't have broke up with her.
That's that for real. I wonder if my ex thinks that.
The fiancé one?
Yeah. His mom still texts me. Like, we broke up. I'm 30 now. We broke up at 25. So that was 5 years ago almost. Maybe like 4 years ago. She'll just text me about anything. Like, she texted me a couple weeks ago about the Black Lives Matter move. She wanted to see if I was protesting.
Yeah.
I didn't respond. She'll text me. Like, she texted me at the start of coronavirus. She's like, this is crazy.
Yeah. Do you respond to her?
Like, when coronavirus first happened in March, I responded because I was like, it was a very scary time for everybody, right? And I was like, well, I still like his parents, even though he sucks. Like, I hope he gets coronavirus, but I could give a fuck. I would be really sad if his mom and dad got it because they were very nice people. So it's like, I was like, I'm thinking of you.
Do they know that he cheated on you?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I wonder if they look at you as, like, the one that got away.
Yeah, I wonder. Like, well, so I lived with him and his parents in his parents' house. So when all that shit happened, like, you know, and I kind of beat his ass in his house. Like, right when he told me, I bitch slapped him, threw his phone across the room, like, made a big old deal. And I was like, I'm leaving, like, I'm sleeping somewhere else. And his dad got involved and was like, we want him to leave, not you. And I was like, that's your son.
Yeah.
I can't let you do that.
Yeah.
Like, what is he should go sleep in a fucking car or the gutter. I could give a shit. But, like, I have places I could go.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be the bigger person here. But, yeah, they were very... and then they were the ones that kind of, like, approved me to, like, take a metal bat to his shit. Like, they were home when I did it.
Oh, and they were like, Lydia, what are you doing here? And just, like, carrying out his surfboard, like, nothing.
And then he got really pissed at his parents that they let me do that. And they were like, he's like, well, maybe you shouldn't have fucking cheated, you coward. Can't tell an angry black woman not to fucking take a metal bat to your shit, bitch. That's right. Don't tell her no. I listened to Lemonade way too many times to come back. I need to fuck something up.
That's hilarious.
So, yeah.
Dude, so maybe like a year ago, so you were talking about the person that like you lose your virginity to. So
yeah,
I lost my virginity to a girl. Like, we both lost our virginity to each other. So, like, we didn't know what we were doing. Like, it was just, like, 2 seconds, and then I came, and I was like, whoa, sex is awesome, you know? And, like, a long, like, that was, like, 15 years ago now, 16 years ago.
Were you guys dating?
Yeah, we were, like, quote-unquote dating, like, high school dating, which is, like, we went to movies together. And the way that we actually met is I was into her friend, and her friend was like, I'm not single, but, like, I had this friend, this lady, and I was like, that lady's pretty cute, too, and, like, we'll hang out. But, so we were hanging out, but it wasn't, like, an actual relationship. It was more of, like, I'll date this girl because I want to lose my virginity kind of thing.
Okay. So you guys both just were kind of dating each other to, like, get rid of that V card.
Well, I don't know what her motives were, but that was my motive.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah.
I feel like girls only do it because they think, like, they're going to be with that person for a lifetime.
Well, we lost it to each other, and then we were together for a little while longer, and, like, it was fine. Like, I went to prom, junior prom with her, and my parents didn't like her.
Why didn't they like her?
I thought she was, and they were right, like, she was kind of boring, and she would call our house, like, non-stop, and we were always on the phone together.
That's when you had landlines before cell phones.
They couldn't get on the internet. They couldn't call into our house.
That's right.
So they were like, this girl sucks. And I didn't drive yet, so they were, like, driving me to her place, and she lived, like, 15 minutes away. And so they were like, ugh, this girl sucks.
Aww.
So when I had a friend group, it was like 5 of us, and whenever one of us would lose our virginity, we'd go to this buffet and, like, celebrate it. And so I remember as soon as we had sex for the first time, I texted all my buddies, and I was like, it's buffet day, baby!
What kind of buffet was it? Was it like a hometown buffet?
No, it was like a Chinese buffet that was in our local mall.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it was dope. Like, we were high school kids.
You just, like, love to eat, or what?
Yeah, dude. We smashed. That was, like, our version of getting fucked up. It was, like, just going
to buffets.
And eating all the ramen noodles that we could. But, like, a couple years after we broke up, I was in college, and she hit me up on, I think it was, like, MySpace or Facebook or something, and we started talking again, and she made it kind of like, hey, we should hook up again. And I was like, okay, sure. And we never did. Like, something fell apart, and then I remember she got mad at me and was like, whatever, you weren't really good anyway. And I was like, you weren't either. Like, we were virgins.
You guys were both bad.
We didn't know what we were doing.
Yeah.
And then about a year ago, she started following me on Instagram.
Oh, God.
And I put up a joke tweet that was like, oh, the girl I lost my virginity to just started following me on Instagram. I guess she wants a second helping of premature ejaculation. So then she saw that and unfollowed me. And then I posted a joke tweet that was like, the girl I lost my virginity to just unfollowed me. I guess she didn't want that second helping.
Apparently not. She was like, you're right. What the fuck was I thinking? I remember, you were bad.
But do you, like, Are you like still Facebook friends that you lost the person you were?
No, he was gross and he was a coward, and that shouldn't have happened. I shouldn't have lost my virginity to my neighbor. I was like 15. He was like 19.
Oh shit!
And
it's fucking illegal.
Yeah, it was illegal. And the fucked up part was like, so my dad had just passed away, and it wasn't like I was close with my dad, but it was still like a very hard time in my life. And he saw me like crying outside, and I hadn't met my neighbor yet, like they were new. And then he saw me crying outside, and he like came outside to talk to me. And then I was like, oh, my dad just passed away or whatever. And then he was like, oh, like, I'm so sorry, but like we should hang out. And I thought it was like a genuine gesture, like to hang out.
Yeah.
And then we hung out, and then he just tried to put his hands down my pants the whole time and like hook up. And I was like, what the fuck? You just saw daddy issues, and you were like, this is an opportunity.
Like,
and
this
she's
is the
younger.
birth of daddy issues.
For real. And then
Shit.
And then it just started happening where it was like I wanted the attention, like I wanted the comfort, but then it always came at a cost. And so and then like when I graduated high school, like I knew what had been happening was bad, because his older brother kind of gave me like a wad of cash, and he was like, you're not going to tell anyone about Kevin, right? And I was like, okay.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so that shouldn't have happened. And so like when I was dating my first boyfriend, you know, he was still my neighbor. And so like every time I'd fight with my boyfriend, I would try to console and find comfort somewhere, and then he would take advantage. And so like it was just a bad, rotten fucking cycle.
Yeah, that's
bad cycle.
Horrible.
It's horrible, I know. It's like, I don't mean this to be a sad podcast.
No, dude.
But that's life, honey. Life happens, and you still have to laugh at it.
Yeah, dude.
Because that's how you survive this shit. You don't survive just by being sad about the shit that happened to you. You survive by making a fucking joke about it. I did. I wrote a whole bit about my surfboard bit. I want to write a bit about my virginity, losing my virginity to that asshole, mostly because when I was like 17, 18, like having sex, I didn't know you were supposed to wash your ass. Like I didn't know. So I wonder how many dudes I had sex with and had a dirty asshole. That's real.
Wait, like you didn't know that you had to like shower?
I didn't know that you were supposed to take like a bar of soap and really scrub your butthole.
Really?
I'd never had done that. Like I guess I was just walking around with a dirty ass all the time. And it wasn't until like 21 when I started like seriously dating my ex-fiancé that he was like, you need to clean your ass. And I was like, what? I was like, and then he showed me, and I was like, oh my God, I lived 21 years on this planet and didn't know. How many people saw my dirty asshole? And then I told my
That's like one of the first things
I had no idea. And then I talked to my friends about it, and they're like, you're supposed to do what? I was like, yeah, you have to scrub your butthole. And then even one of my girlfriends was like, I had no idea, my butt is way less itchy now.
Yeah, dude.
Me and my friends are just walking around with dirty assholes. I was like, that's what that asshole gets. You lose your virginity. That's what a 19-year-old gets for fucking a virgin.
Yeah.
You get dirty butthole. Okay, that's what you get. It's not cool. It's not cute. Fucking stinks, bitch.
How did your ex-fiancé just bring that up to you? He's like, hey, we had a talk.
We gotta talk.
Your butt stank.
Yeah. He's like, you got toilet paper in there sometimes. Sometimes there's poop stains.
Oh, God.
He's like, you gotta clean it.
Marks?
I'm sure. I don't know.
Oh, my God, Lydia.
Who knows these things? Who teaches you those things? It's not like my mom one day was like, you know, when you're ready to have sex, you gotta make sure your butthole's clean. Nobody teaches you that. You don't know that you need to have a clean butthole until you get into a relationship with a guy who might want to do butt stuff, and he's like, I'm not touching that until you clean it. Someone who loves you enough to be like, I'm gonna teach you.
Yeah. Did he like show you like this is how you wash your butt?
I think he did it for me.
Wow.
It's love.
That's until cheating. But
yeah, until cheating. I think he still loved me. I think he was just a flawed man.
Yeah.
I think, like, I don't know if you loved your ex. It sounds like you loved your ex because you still say you should have never broken up with her. So obviously you loved her, but we're flawed people.
Yeah.
And that's okay to admit that, but we gotta just be better people, I guess.
I can't get over this.
Dirty butt.
Here's the thing is, I talked with some people about this, but I don't remember ever learning how to shower. My mom almost never showers. She, like, takes baths.
Yeah, my mom too.
Yeah, so I knew how to take a bath. My dad would shower, but he always woke up, like, at the ass crack of dawn, and so I never, like, was like, hey, how do you do that?
Yeah.
So I just never learned how to shower until, like, I was on my own, basically.
Okay.
And there was a long period of time where I just didn't bathe at all.
Wow.
I was like a stinky, dirty motherfucking kid. But once I knew to shower, I still knew that I needed to wash my butt.
Are you kidding?
Yes.
I grew up in a house with bidets.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if that made a difference where my mom's like, well, if you're using the bidet, you don't need to clean your butt because, like, that's what the bidet does. But still,
that's just water.
That's just water.
Yeah.
You still kind of need to clean it with soap. And, like, maybe, like, because I'm Egyptian, maybe Egyptians just don't do butt stuff. Like, maybe they just don't clean their butt because nobody's ever looking at their butt. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Are your parents immigrants?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that could also, like, play into it.
Have something to do with it, yeah.
Like, I don't want to make any, like, judgments, but, like, I know from talking to friends that have immigrant parents that immigrant parents have, like, a weird, different rules than...
Yeah.
But also, like, so do all other parents. Like, I didn't learn how to shower. My mom taught me how to, like, wash in the sink and take a bath, but not shower, and then... I really genuinely have no idea how I learned to shower.
So this is going to sound weird, but growing up, I always took showers with my sisters. Like, my mom would force my sisters to take showers with me to, like, help clean me or whatever.
Yeah.
So, like, I was always in the shower with my sister, and, like, I don't remember my sisters being like, you have to clean your butt, like, or anything. They were probably just, like, in the shower trying to, like, comb my hair out or, like, you know, making sure I had soap all over my body. But I don't remember, like, my mom really, she might have done, like, a swipe. I don't remember her really getting in there and just, like, cleaning
that's
around.
Weird. Yeah.
That is weird. Like, my sister told me to bathe my niece. And I was like, I have to clean her butt.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't want to touch her butt.
Yeah.
Like, that's her private parts. I don't want to touch it. I don't feel right. I don't feel right as her aunt. What if she feels like I'm invading her privacy? What if she thinks, like, I'm doing something wrong?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how to clean her
Yeah,
butt. And
like,
so I
Aunt
just...
Lydia touched me.
Yeah.
Like, no, I was fucking bathing you.
And then I told my sister, you know, I was like, I didn't clean her butt. She was like... My sister was like, that's the most important part. I was like...
What are you, Mom?
I was like, I can't touch it. I don't know. She was like, use a rag. I was like, this is beyond my scope, honey.
That was another thing. Like, my parents, if they showered, they used, like, a rag.
Yeah.
And I fucking hate that. They had bar soap and rags. So you just had to, like, scrub the bar soap into the rag, and that somehow got soapy. Dude, getting a loofah was life-changing.
I know.
Loofahs are the shit.
Loofahs are actually really popular in the Egyptian culture. Like, they have, like, an Egyptian loofah. Like, they make them in Egypt, and so, like
there's a specific type of loofah.
Yeah, there's an Egyptian loofah. And
what's the difference?
I think it's the same, but you'll notice that now that you know that, like, Egyptians make loofahs. Next time you go to the store or look it up on Amazon, look up Egyptian loofah, and, like, it's a little bit softer than, like, a typical loofah you would see at a store or whatever. Do you know what, like, the tan one? You know what I'm talking about, right?
Kind of like a spongy looking one?
It's kind of like spongy, but, like, hard. It kind of looks like hay.
I'm looking it up right now.
Guys, look up Egyptian loofah. Hopefully I'm right.
Let's see.
I know it's right because when I went to Egypt, you could buy them, like, in bulk.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've seen these before.
So I grew up using those.
It kind of looks like a kernel of corn that's been eaten.
It looks like honeycomb.
Yeah.
But you wash your body with it. And then they make them in all different types of ways.
Yeah, I see one that's like a mitten that you put your hand in. I don't know if I can do that.
So my mom used to cut those. She'd buy like a big one from like the Arabic store, and then she'd cut it, and then we like would use it to clean our body.
I never feel comfortable just like washing with just my hands at this point now.
Yeah, no.
Like I have a loofah. Like you know when you go to a hotel and it's just soap and there's no loofah, and
you have to bring your own. Or use one of their rags. They're like cloths. But you know what grosses me out? Like, how much detergent do you use to clean this washcloth?
Yeah.
So that I can now clean my body with it.
Yeah, and then there's like, when you're washing with just a bar of soap, do you just put the bar of soap right on your asshole or what? Like,
So like I kind of lather it up, and then I just like really get in there.
Welcome
and
to Learning to Bathe with Joe and Lydia.
Sometimes I'll even like finger my butthole just a little bit if I need to, just to get like whatever just in case like I fart. I just don't want any like shit particles that are just right around the edge to come out.
Yeah.
So it just
dude.
On a good day, I'll go in there.
I go ham on my asshole with a loofah, dude. Like I'll get cramps in my forearm because I'll just be like,
for how hard you're scrubbing it.
Yeah, because I think that I have hemorrhoids or something, and like it's
TMI.
Uncomfortable. Well, it's like itchy sometimes.
Yeah.
And then when you just start scrubbing back there and it itches, it feels so good.
So good that you can't stop,
bro.
I just had my first experience of hemorrhoids.
Yeah.
I had no idea what they were, but like since coronavirus started, like I've been spending a lot of time on the toilet. Like there's something about sitting on a toilet, it's just relaxing. You're like, I have nothing to do, nowhere to go. I'm just going to sit here. Well, sitting there and pushing for that long is what causes fucking hemorrhoids. And so I was like talking to my cousin. I'm like, you know that feeling where you like gotta poop, but you sit on the toilet and nothing comes out and it hurts, and then you sit down and it's just like, it's like pain when you sit down. I'm like, it's shooting pain in my butthole. I was like, he goes, I think you have a hemorrhoid. I was like, oh no. Been sitting down on the toilet pushing for too long.
I don't think mine aren't like that. Mine are just kind of like itchy. And I remember I thought that I had like colon cancer because like I would wipe and there'd be blood. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to die. So I went to like a butt doctor.
They have those?
Yes. You didn't know that there's
They have like an anal doctor? What are they called?
I don't know what
Ass doctors?
They have doctors for everything. What's a butt doctor called?
A colonoscopist? No, that's a person who goes up in your colon.
9 things butt doctors know. A proctologist.
Oh, okay. That sounds sophisticated for like for an ass doctor.
For a guy that like basically just fingers butts all day.
I know, right?
So I went to him. I was like, I saw blood in my stool, and I'm like concerned. And he was like, all right, let's check this out. And then he just, bends you over, and then he sticks a finger up your butt, and then they take the finger and they like put it on some kind of tab, and then if it's turned some kind of color, you're supposed to have like cancer, but if not. But he was like, oh, it's probably just hemorrhoids. Like, it seems like you have hemorrhoids. And I was like, oh, okay. And then...
Did he give you anything for it?
Yeah, he
like
gave me some kind
cream?
of... It wasn't hemorrhoid cream. It was like some kind of thing that I had to shove up my butt.
Damn.
Yeah, for like a week or two.
Damn.
It wasn't that bad.
So when I broke my back forever ago, and it was like probably like 4 years ago now when I broke my back, I was on so many pain pills that I couldn't shit for like a good week.
Oh my God.
Which was horrible. It was like the worst. The pain from not being able to shit for a week was worse than the back pain. And so like it was horrible. I was like, I should have laid low on the morphine and the fucking Percocets, but when you're in pain and someone prescribes you Percocets, you're like, oh, fuck yeah, I'm just going to feel good and just chill for till this gets better. And then you don't think about the side effects at all. And so the side effects really, like, literally nipped me in the butt because I couldn't shit. And so I had to go back to the emergency room. And at the emergency room, they tried to just give me, like, some liquid shit to send home to drink to try to force myself to shit. It's like what they give people before colonoscopy.
Yeah.
That didn't work. I just kept vomiting everything up.
Oh.
So then I went back to the doctor, and the doctor was like, yeah, it sounds like you have shit stuck in your colon. So he literally just put some gloves on and stuck his fingers up there.
Yep.
And then I was like, you're just gonna fish the shit out of my ass? Like, what the fuck? And then he's like searching around. Mind you, I was there with a guy that I had just met on Bumble, because I had broken my back with him, and this all happened like within a series of like a week.
Oh my
God. So he watches this doctor go up my asshole, and he was like, weird, there's nothing there. And then he pulls his hand out, and he's like, let's order an x-ray. I'm like, you don't think maybe you should have ordered an x-ray before you shoved your fingers up my ass, you perv?
How long did you go with this guy from Bumble after this?
We
like,
kind of stayed together for a while.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Kudos on him.
He was a good guy.
This girl broke her back, and
I broke up my back on a Bumble date with him.
What happened?
So, like, he invited me to Catalina. I met him on Bumble. We had went on, like, one previous date before or something. And then he was like, hey, let's go spend a weekend camping with my friends in Catalina. And, like, we, like, both had summers off. So I was like, fuck yeah, let's go. I go with him to Catalina. His friends had a boat. They go to this jumping rock in Catalina, and they were like, okay, we're going to jump off this cliff into the water. And I watched everyone do it, and it looked cool. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm deathly afraid of heights. Like, I cannot handle it. I don't like feeling unsteady. I like to feel grounded at all times. Going up there, I knew this was a bad idea. Like, I knew it, but a part of me was kind of like, you have to do this for yourself, because you can defeat anything. And, like, I remember my ex-fiancé that had just cheated on me, like, he would get upset with me that I wasn't, like, a thrill seeker enough. Like, I was always afraid to do things. Yeah. Like, and I was definitely, like, you can't just get rid of that fear. But I was like, I'm not that person he told me I was. You know, I'm bigger than that. So I was like, I'm going to jump off this cliff for myself. And I jumped off this cliff, and I literally lost the ability to use my legs. Like, I just couldn't. I was like, something happened. I kept sinking. Like, I was like, okay, like, relax, use your arms. Like, my ex also taught me that, because he was a lifeguard. So he told me, if you ever get injured and you can't use your legs or break your back or something, which is a common accident in the ocean, actually. You could break your back very easily. He's like, use your arms if you can. And he's like, always relax, because you'll come up to the surface. So I relaxed. I used my arms because I could. And then I came up, and everyone was like freaking out. And then the guy, my Bumble date guy, his name was Jeff. He was like, are you okay? He's like screaming from the top. He's like, are you okay? I was like, I couldn't even speak. Like, I the wind had been knocked out of me, and then I couldn't talk.
How did this happen? Did you, like, back flop or something?
I think I bent my knees too much, and it was like a 40-foot jump. So, like, the impact from just me bending my knees and having my back too curved, I landed wrong. I landed kind of like on the back of my thighs and my bum. So
like you did a cannonball or something?
I kind of did a cannonball, and then it kind of snapped I fractured my T11, T12. And then, so then I had to go to the emergency room, and then I found all that out. And, like, he's stuck by me. Jeff was, like, a really good guy, so it was cool. I found out Jeff actually knew my ex-fiancé, because from, like, water polo, they didn't play. Jeff was, like, possibly his old water polo coach. Yeah. Yep. That's my, you know, I just like them white boys. I can't, there's just so many of them, you know, like, it's just an easier option, I guess. When you're a piece of shit, it's just easy to date, because there's just so many fucking shitty white guys. You're like, wow, I'm in just a pool of shittiness. This is great. I'm just kidding. I love you, Joe. You're not shitty.
I'm pretty shitty.
Okay. Well, you said it. I didn't.
I'm like, yeah, I cheated on girls. I only dated this girl to fuck her and lose my virginity. You're like, you're a good guy. So
let's go back. Dating's hard.
What ended up happening to get shit out of your butt?
So I ended
lack
up.
of a better term.
I think they sent me home with something else. That didn't work, so I had to go back for the third time. And then for the third time, they ended up just shoving an enema, like they did a soap suds enema where they shoved this tube up your ass. And it literally, I went there with my sister because at that point I was in so much pain. I was so over my Bumble date. I was like, you have to go. I was screaming. I was making a goddamn scene.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he wanted to stay with me after all of that. But he did.
Well, I feel like even if he wasn't feeling you and on your second date you break your back, he can't be like, peace. Bitch.
Yeah. Well, he could.
Yeah.
But yeah, he'd be a piece of shit.
Yeah.
But like, I wouldn't be shocked because,
yeah,
a lot of guys are pieces of shit. But that's okay. You gotta weed them out. You gotta weed the piece. Stay hopeful. Okay. Anyways, Jeff was a good guy. And so I did a soap suds enema, and then my sister was there, and she had to it smelled like a porta potty.
Yeah.
She was like, I need to get out of this room. She's like, I love you, but I can't handle it. It literally smelled like a porta potty. And I was looking at the nurse to see if she was shocked. She was so straight-faced. I was like, how do you do it? They don't pay you enough? How are you doing it? I couldn't keep a straight face. My sister was like, fuck this.
Yeah.
I'm sorry your bat's broken, but I cannot smell this shit. She kept a straight face, just like, there's just a week old shit going out of my ass. She's just straight face, like, doesn't smell like anything to me.
Jesus.
Okay, you're just used to this then. I don't know.
Yeah. At least, you're a young person. Like, they probably have to do that to old people that are much grosser and disgusting, and they just have to be like, whew. So at least they were like, oh, at least this lady is like, young and
cute and young,
yeah,
I guess.
not disgusting, like, just gross person.
I don't care if you're cute. Shit is shit. It doesn't matter if you're cute or old. It smells and looks disgusting. It doesn't matter. Whoever has to see your shit is gonna look at you differently after. Have you ever seen your ex's shit like in the toilet and be like,
No.
oh my god, I see you differently?
My exes have never. No, I've
really?
Never done that. One time I had anal sex with an ex-girlfriend of mine, and then
got shit on your dick.
I got shit on my dick, but she went to suck it, and before I could be like, no, don't. As soon as she like started to go on it, and she looked up at me, and I was going like my face was all contorted, like, oh my god, you don't know what you just did, and then like 3 seconds went by, and then she was like, oh my god, I need to go to your bathroom and brush my teeth right now. And I was like, and I need to go to my bathroom and wash my dick right now.
God, did she throw up?
No, she was a champ.
She was?
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty impressive.
Number one, dude, a champ, everyone is like, ass to mouth is like a big thing, and she was just like, whatever, I'll fucking do that. But then she took shit dick to the mouth and was a champ.
So did she
it.
not know there was shit on your dick? Like she couldn't smell it? Did
guess
you
not.
know it?
I
You
knew
felt it?
No, I didn't feel it. I looked down as she got off of my dick with her butt. I was like looking at her face, and then she got on her knees to start blowing me. And as I looked down to watch her start blowing me, I saw shit on my dick, and I was like, and then she just started going, and I was like, maybe I didn't see something or whatever. And then when she stopped, she was like, I need to go, and I was like, yeah, sorry, I'm so sorry. I don't know.
I've
But
shot on
she was a
someone.
champ. I don't think that she puked.
No.
I think she just brushed her teeth and was like,
Belt cleaner.
we'll not be doing that for
Did you guys kiss after she brushed her teeth?
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know how I
You were
feel
just
about
about to say you've shit on a lot of dick.
I have.
I mean, it's just inevitable if you're doing anal a lot. Like, it's bound to happen.
I have some gay friends who tell me it's not normal to be shitting as much as I do. Yeah, like they're very adamant about cleansing, and I've had friends try to teach me how to clean my colon so that I'm prepped. What they say is you got to stay bottom ready. They're like, you got to stay bottom ready. And I can't stay bottom ready. I can't.
Well, what are their tips for staying bottom ready?
Like, they have different ways between enemas, and like they'll use a water bottle and literally shove like a tip of a water bottle in their asshole and just like squirt water up there and try to clean it out. They take pills that help them like go.
Like stay regular. Like
stay
laxatives?
regular. They'll take like not like a laxative, kind of more like a probiotic, I'm guessing, but it helps them stay regular so that they have like a consistent pooping schedule, and then they know what the time that they're gonna poop, and then they clean down there with their enema or their asshole douche, whatever it's called, and then they stay bottom ready. Like, that's what they do. And like, they eat birdseed all day so they can stay bottom ready so they don't have to shit. And it's like, I don't know how they do it, because I can take probiotics, but I've never been regular in my life. I'm just like naturally a constipated person.
Really?
I guess always tense. I don't know.
I'm the complete opposite of you. I'm always like diarrheaing.
Really?
Yeah.
I would love that.
I enjoy it more than like when I have a string of days of like just solid like once a day shits. I'm like, something's up. Like, what's going on? Like, am I not eating enough fruit or something?
Okay.
So it's pretty consistent with me that like every couple days I'll just have a diarrhea. Like,
damn, just for no reason.
Well, there's definitely a reason. It's just that
Taco Bell.
Well, Taco Bell doesn't really do that to me.
Are you sure? Because it does that to me.
It's more I like binge eat fruit.
Okay.
And if I binge eat like a fuckload of fruit, like a big thing for me is I eat grapes, and I'll just eat an entire bag of grapes.
That's insane.
Yeah, and then by doing that, diarrhea time.
Yeah, probably. So like, how many bags of grapes do you buy when you go to the grocery store? Just like one?
I'll only buy like one or two, and then when I
get home, it's gone.
When I'm like, all right, it's safe to have a diarrhea day.
That's
like
horrible.
when I clear my schedule, it's diarrhea day. Doesn't she know that it's diarrhea day?
A girl asks you out. Can't. Not tonight. It's diarrhea day. Maybe next week. Actually, this time next week, it's going to be diarrhea day.
Don't you know
Give me 2
Thursdays
days.
are my diarrhea days?
And I'm the one with the dirty ass. You have diarrhea days.
Maybe it's because I'm so bottom ready.
Maybe you're bottom ready and I'm not, honey. I need to work on my body readiness.
But I'm saying, like, I've had anal with quite a few ladies, and it's just inevitable that like after you get like 4 or 5 times that you do it, there's gonna be shit on your dick one of those times, like 20% of the time, and I don't know if they're like, I gotta get ready the other 4 times or whatever,
yeah,
or if it's just, but like I feel like that's pretty common.
I don't know how you plan to have anal. I feel like every time I wanted to do anal, it was just because I was drunk enough for it, and drinking and shitting and anal do not mix, because like drinking is kind of a laxative, and then obviously you get horny and then you have sex and then you're like, I just shit all over your I just freak out. I'm like, oh my god, go to the bathroom now, clean your dick, hurry.
No, wait, do you like, is there shit like all over the dick?
Yeah, sometimes, yeah.
Oh, I've had that maybe once. I've never had, like, there'll always be like a little poop particle.
No.
But
I think it's because I'm just naturally constipated all the time. And
maybe.
So, like, when someone... which was why it was so bad when I had taken all those pain pills, because I'm already naturally constipated. And then to take pain pills on top of that, I really couldn't shit. And the shit was so far up my colon that the doctor couldn't even get it out. And so, like, when I actually do have anal and I've been drinking and things start loosening up, like, it's just a recipe for disaster. I'm just not one of those people that can stay bottom ready. I need to figure out a way where I could consistently stay regular, and I haven't figured that out yet. So.
Yeah. Are you down with like butt stuff though?
I used to be until I've shat on way too many dicks, and I'm like, I can't.
This is a safety precaution. This is more for you than it is
for me. For me. Actually, it's for both of us because I can't take another one. I really can't. I like my white sheets.
Oh, God.
I like my white sheets and my white towels, and I just can't trust anything after that. The trust goes out the window.
You don't trust your butt.
I don't trust it.
I can't trust my butt. All right, Lydia. Well, on that note, we should wrap this thing up. But before we go, I'm going to ask you 2 questions. There's one question that I've asked every single guest on this podcast, and then now I have a new second question.
Okay.
So I'm going to start with that new one. Who is a celebrity that you think would be in your league if they weren't a celebrity? Like the hottest celebrity that you could hook up with.
Ryan Gosling.
You think Ryan Gosling is in your league?
For sure. If he wasn't rich, that dude would be all over my nuts.
Yeah?
White dudes love me. Especially cute, surfer, blonde, white dudes.
That's true.
They love me.
Yeah.
Should I try to name another one?
No, Ryan Gosling's a good one. I feel like... Because I think that he's a handsome guy, but I think that the whole vibe of him is more what makes him the most super attractive guy.
Yeah.
As opposed to, like, he's not the most handsome person.
No.
But his, like, aura is what people like about him.
Yeah.
So, that's a good one, I feel like.
It is.
And for the final question.
Okay.
Last question I ask everybody. What's a piece of advice that you'd give everybody listening about dating?
Love yourself first.
Yeah.
Love yourself, and then you can love others. But if you can't find reasons to love yourself, then you can't expect anyone else to find a reason to love you. So
damn, that hit
love yourself.
fucking hard, dude.
Dude, I'm a hard hitting bitch. Don't forget that. This is Lydia Shahid. I'm out.
Well, before you're out, do you want to plug anything? Do you have your Instagram?
So
website?
you could follow me at Lydia Shahid.
Whoa, back up! You're eating the mic right now. You're fucking.
I just got really hungry. Okay.
All right. What is your stuff that people can find you on?
Okay, so Instagram at Lydia Shahid, and that's LYDIASHAHID. Same thing on Facebook, Lydia Shahid. Baby YouTube. Don't hold me to the shit that's on there. Just be surprised if you're like, wow, she really went for that, didn't she?
I will be YouTubing you as soon as this is over. All right, Lydia, thanks so much for doing the show.
Yay, thank you.
There you have it, everybody. That was my chat with Lydia Shahid. I hope you enjoyed it. I know I did. I had a blast talking with her about, cheating and all the butt stuff and enemas and figuring out how to get poop adequately out of your butt and how to wash your butt. That was a fucking great time. Again, for everything regarding this podcast, datingishardcomedy.com. That's the place to go. Follow the Instagram at datingishardcomedy. Follow me on Instagram at Joe Welkie. Send in those emails to datingishardcomedy@gmail.com or head to the website and there's a contact page if that's easier for you. Like, share, subscribe, rate, review, give it 5 stars, please. And that about wraps it up. And until next time, later!